So we often hear these huge names from history, right? Names that just conjure up, immense power, brutal conquest.
Absolutely. Figures that seem almost larger than life.
Exactly. But what if we told you that behind one of the most, well, fearsome figures, Genghis Khan, there was this whole web of personal drama, family feuds, and an end just as shocking as his rise?
Yeah, that's absolutely right. Today we're diving into Conn Iggulden's historical novel, Genghis, Bones of the Hills. And it's not just a rundown of battles, though, believe me, there's plenty of that.
Right.
It's more of a raw, sort of intimate look at the man himself behind the legend, his generals, his family, which was complicated, and the huge empire he built.
Okay, so our mission here is to pull out the most surprising bits, the insights, really, from this amazing material.
Uh-huh.
We'll look at the Mongol military machine. How did they do it? Genghis Khan's leadership, ruthless, yes, but maybe more complex.
And his enemies, the betrayals.
Yeah, the betrayals that shaped everything, right up to his pretty dramatic end. Basically, you're about to get a shortcut to being really well informed about this conqueror whose impact, it still echoes today.
Definitely. And I think to really get it, we have to start with the basics. What made that Mongol war machine just so, well, unstoppable?
Okay, so the first thing that really hits you from the sources is just how capable these warriors were. Really something else.
Yeah, the descriptions are intense.
They're called devils in battle, incredibly seasoned riders, perfect unison, calm under pressure. It's hard to even picture.
And that endurance, as tough as old leather.
Exactly. That phrase sticks with you. It's incredible discipline. The novel really puts you there.
It does. And that toughness, that discipline, it wasn't just physical. It fed into their limitless patience.
Ah, right. That wasn't just a personality thing. It was strategy.
Precisely. They could outlast anyone, circle for days, months even, knowing the enemy inside would eventually just break. It's psychological warfare, really.
Yeah.
Just as powerful as their arrows.
And leading this force, you had some real strategic geniuses. Ogedai comes up again and again.
The most gifted, yeah. And not just tactics on the field. He was an innovator.
Like the cartwheels?
Adapting captured tech. Iron-ringed spoked wheels. Way easier to fix than the solid ones they usually use. It's a small thing, but it shows how pragmatic they were.
That's a great detail. And his tactics, like thinning the enemy.
Yeah, slowly bleeding them, wearing them down for days, maybe weeks before the main fight. It goes back to that patience.
Right.
And then there's Jebe, the wolf mentality.
Okay.
Gets his first big command, 10,000 veterans, super eager. And the key thing with Jebe, he valued talent over blood ties.
Which must have been pretty revolutionary back then.
Oh, absolutely. In a world based on tribal loyalty, picking skill over family.
Huge.
Huge. So a kind of meritocracy. And we can't forget the others. The novel mentions Khazar, Kachion, Jelme, all vital.
Definitely not a one-man show. It was organized, intelligently led.
Okay, but how did they manage the logistics? They're nomadic, but running this huge empire. Well, that's another fascinating part. The book shows the struggles, like crossing the Altai Mountains with heavy carts.
Yeah, making like 5 miles a day sometimes. Painful.
Super slow. But then they also had these really smart systems, way stations for changing horses.
So scouts could cover incredible distances.
Distances Genghis himself thought were impossible before. It just shows, even the best armies need good logistics, practical stuff.
And when they hit walled cities, that's a different game entirely.
Right, not their usual style, but they learned fast.
Kaifeng,
yeah. They didn't storm it. They just set up camp, stayed for 3 months.
That limitless patience, again, just waiting them out.
Terrible patience while the city starved. Brutal.
And Otrar, that had serious walls, right? Limestone, granite.
Yeah, tough nut to crack. So what do? They used captured Qin artisans.
To build catapults.
Exactly. And those clay pots of fire oil. They learned from their enemies, used their tech against them. That adaptability was key.
Okay, but we have to talk about the ruthlessness. Genghis Khan's reputation. It's intense, and the novel doesn't pull punches.
No, it doesn't. Otrar is the prime example.
Yeah.
The governor, Inalchuk.
The one who infuriated Genghis.
Right, his end was horrific. Molten silver, eyes and ears. But Genghis had a reason, a chillingly strategic one. He said it was to make it a shout that will spread further than I can ride.
So pure psychological warfare. Make an example so terrifying others wouldn't dare resist.
Exactly. And it worked. The historical note says Otrar was never rebuilt, still rubble today. That act echoed.
And it wasn't just him. Whole cities wiped out. Herat, Balkh, populations slaughtered or enslaved. How do you even process that level of brutality alongside the strategic mind?
The novel kind of suggests it was just the cost of building an empire in that time. A grim necessity they accepted.
Oh, wow.
But beneath that, you see this really complex family situation. His sons, lots of tension there.
Jochi, the eldest.
Yeah, always marked by that old wound. Resentment about his birth, probably.
The book mentions him fighting a tiger, getting a special sword.
Right, the wolf's head sword. But he still felt overlooked, scorned by Genghis. It shows how personal feelings, family dynamics, they were always there, right under the surface of the empire building.
Even for the Khan. And then Chagatai?
Arrogant, yeah. Rushed into things, like attacking that monk, Yaoshu.
But Genghis put him in his place.
Oh, yeah. Humbled him publicly in front of the whole nation.
And Ogedai, the third son, he was named the heir, right, over Chagatai.
Yep, which was a big deal. A major shift in how succession worked for them. Skipping the older, more problematic son.
Viking tradition.
Definitely. And Tului, the youngest, he grew up more traditionally, managing herds, even as a young husband and father. It's a snapshot of this family under unbelievable pressure.
And Genghis himself wasn't immune to hardship, physically?
Not at all. The book shows him getting a broken tooth pulled by Kokchu, the shaman.
Ow. And getting his arm reset in the middle of a battle.
Yeah, the physical cost of constantly campaigning, it grounds him a bit, makes him human, despite the legend.
So what was his philosophy then? What drove him underneath it all?
Oh, the novel gives us some clues. He saw happiness as a small thing.
Really?
Yeah. Believe something like, we strive and we suffer because we know through those things that we are alive.
Intense.
And that famous line, all I ever did was realize I can be a wolf to them. Talking about kings and shahs. He saw the world as predator and prey.
And he chose to be the wolf. Okay, so who really pushed back? Who are the enemies that made the Mongols, work for it?
Well, beyond the hill tribes ambushing envoys? Or those Russian knights in heavy armor?
Right, the ones whose charges just met a wall of arrows.
Exactly. The disciplined archery won out. But the Khwarezmian Empire, that was a real challenge.
Shah Alauddin Muhammad, big armies, war elephants.
Very powerful, deeply religious. And Subadai and Jebe chased him for, 1,000 miles?
Across Uzbekistan, Iran. Incredible pursuit.
Until he died on that little island in the Caspian Sea. Pneumonia, of all things, shows the sheer relentless nature of the Mongols.
But his son, Gelidin, he was different.
Oh, yeah. Really brave, really smart. He actually figured out ways to counter Mongol tactics.
Like using trenches and false retreats.
Exactly, in the Panjshir Valley. He understood them in a way few others did.
And he almost got away from Genghis himself at the Indus River.
Narrowly escaped. Genghis actually pointed him out later to Kublai Khan, saying that's how a man should live and die. High praise coming from him.
Wow. So Gelidin showed there were potential weaknesses if you knew how to exploit them.
Limited successes, but yeah, it gives you hints. But maybe the boldest threat, the assassins.
Ah, the ones from the mountain fortress.
Yeah, the book touches on their training. Really chilling stuff. Hashish visions of paradise, then waking up among corpses to create fearless killers.
Paradise and hell. Wow. And they had that tattoo?
The mark of serenity. Their mission.
Yeah.
Kill Genghis Khan.
They got his guards.
Killed the guards, yeah. But couldn't get to Genghis himself. He eventually just wiped out their fortress. Relentless.
Which brings us back to the idea that the biggest threats, the real intrigue, wasn't always external. It was inside the camp, inside the family.
Deeply woven into his personal life. Right inside the jar, his own tent.
And the most shocking example has to be Chagatai, his second wife.
Yeah, the princess from Shishia.
Yeah.
Started out scared, making straw dummies to fake out attackers.
And ends up being his assassin.
The novel strongly implies it. Her motive tied to her homeland, Shishia.
Because Genghis was planning to destroy it after they stopped paying tribute.
Exactly. Planned to reduce to a smoking, desolate ruin. So her act becomes this incredibly personal vengeance. It ties into that legend about him being stabbed by a woman.
It makes the political intensely personal, shows that even absolute power can't control everything, especially revenge.
And she wasn't the only betrayal close to home. Kokchu, the shaman,
the spiritual advisor,
turned out to be a traitor. Genghis' own mother, Holin, accused him of killing Genghis' sister, Temujin.
And Genghis dealt with him personally.
Broke his spine, himself. Said the spirits would not kill him. Shows how raw and personal justice was, even overriding spiritual authority.
But the saddest betrayal, maybe, is Jochi.
Yeah, the eldest son, already feeling slighted, carrying that old wound.
Leads 7,000 men away to start his own kingdom.
A massive betrayal in Genghis's eyes. And he sends Subadai after him.
His most loyal general.
And Subadai faces this awful choice. The book paints it as heart-wrenching. He kills Jochi swiftly.
To spare Jochi's men from Genghis's fury?
Seems like it.
Yeah.
But the grief, the personal cost for Subadai, it's immense. Just shows the brutal price of loyalty in that world.
So eventually, Genghis Khan's own time runs out. He's wounded by Chagatai.
Fatally. His brothers, Kachin and Khazar, find him bleeding out on the plain.
Dies in Kachin's arms, and his last command.
Destroy Shiisa, utterly. Vengeance, even at the very end.
And then chaos, right? Khazar wants revenge on Chagatai's children.
Yeah, pure rage. But Ogedai steps in.
The chosen heir.
And he just calmly says, if my father is dead, then I am Khan of the nation.
And they accepted him.
They did. That moment was crucial. It stopped a potential civil war, especially with Jochi gone. Ogedai stepping up secured the empire's future, right then and there.
So the legacy lives on. Otrar is still in ruins as a reminder.
A monument to his wrath, yeah. And his generals, like Subadai, they kept expanding the empire, that winter attack on Kiev.
The only successful one in history. Incredible.
So despite the brutality, Genghis left this incredible mark on the world. Forged a nation, set a new path. Astonishing, really.
So this whole deep dive into Bones of the Hills, it really shows us a Genghis Khan who is, well, more than just the stereotype conqueror.
Absolutely. Strategic genius, sure. But also a father dealing with intense family stuff. A leader who built everything on ruthlessness, yes, but also this deep, maybe brutal understanding of people.
His story really is a reminder, isn't it, that legacies get forged in fire. Built on loyalty, sure, but also shattering betrayals.
And that even the most powerful people are still, human.
Yeah.
Vulnerable. Power and vulnerability side by side.
He believed in being a wolf, like he said. Built a nation on oaths, on conquest as a way of life. Survival.
Yeah, survival against oppression, in his view.
Yet he's brought down by this intimate act, vengeance from within his own circle. It shows that absolute power maybe can't ever fully control the human heart.
A powerful contrast.
So what does this really complicated legacy leave us with? What are the enduring lessons here about leadership, about empire, and maybe about the real cost of loyalty and betrayal?